Okay guys, the reason I'm making this video is simple. This is a textbook example of what I call an asymmetrical deployment, and I'm just going to draw on the screen here. What it means is that we're refusing the flank. In the event none of our guys went over here. It's very customary for the heavies to duke it out in that area, but if you don't spread out in that area and then in this area and maybe with people in here, spread out all over the map, you don't run the risk of being overwhelmed and destroyed in one location. And to the contrary, we formed a compact formation which occupied essentially this area, and at the point of contact we have more guns. It's that simple. Now you'll see that in order to check what was happening, I switched flanks and then I switched flanks again. So I was up here in this area, I did a scouting run, and then I went over here to check, then I ran away, and then I went to cap, and it all turned out nicely. So I'm going to run the battle here slightly faster than normal speed. Actually, I'm going to speed things up enormously. So our best player there on the paper, or actually our second best after Hangman. So I do my scouting run here, check, and you'll see, like I said, we're refusing the flank. It's just fine. There's no reason to panic. In all likelihood, the vehicles approaching there are heavies, right? So, and I want the two Arties on our team to support this Mod 1 up here. He deserves a lot of support. Now, with the two Arties, I call it Splash Central here. It's very dangerous for my tank. And you'll see we're still refusing the flank. And a whole bunch of heavies have not been seen. So that's why I came back. And I said, Artie, support the Mod 1, and the M40 on our team is going ROFL right. And you'll see I'm coming back to check. A little acrobatics there, and Zephyr and I are in communication. He and I are acting together here. And part of the reason I'm coming over here is just to reassure the team that there's nothing to worry about, because heavy vehicles can't react quickly, right? So here we go. T-29 and two Tigers. Not fighting anybody, right? So I run away, and I tell the Arties to move, and people are shooting at me. I managed to dodge shots here. And we're racking up kills. Now you'll see on the screen here, we've lost 4 inexperienced players, but they've lost one of their good players and several other people. And now the M40 says, "Are you effing kidding?" The difference between me and him is, I'm going to brag a little bit here. I have called 1,300 battles in tank companies and clan wars, and he hasn't probably. So he's worried, and I told Zephyr, I said, this is going to be a win for sure, because we're not spread out all over the map. Part of their team is not fighting. The Arties run now in the event here. The Arties ran further than they could have stopped right there. That they didn't need to retreat any further, but they kept going. So I'm after checking the flank now, I'm going to apply cap pressure. And you'll see here that the enemy team is, because they didn't have, we didn't have a tactic. Nobody gave any orders. It's just this was the layout that we adopted, and it's a good layout. I love it. Because it means that we're not scattered and we can help one another. It's that simple. So here I am applying cap pressure, which means that I do not leave the circle. So that guy fired, put 2 rounds into him. And Hangman, my platoon mate, comes in, guns blazing, and then I get back in the circle. And, the enemy was driven pillar to post here, and when this happens in a public match, if you're on the other team, it's obviously terrible, And I've been in battles where my team threw a punch into thin air, and because the enemy formation was more compact, it's almost impossible to fix it. And I would just like to make people aware of that. And what you do at the start, depending on your class of vehicle, is you observe the deployment and you try to reinforce strength. Do not defend an indefensible position where you can be overwhelmed. Go to a place where you have people to help you. And that's all I can advise. Anyways, it was game over, and I hope you enjoyed the video.